Merry Christmas, everyone. Welcome back to Mountaineer Firearms, and I hope everybody's had a good holiday season. Things haven't been too stressful on you, and just in case they have been, we're here to let you know that there's no better stress relievers than getting out here with one of your favorite firearms and slinging some lead at some targets. And we just happened to be lucky enough to get some new steel targets for Christmas. We've been watching some of our favorite Christmas movies like Lethal Weapon and Die Hard, and yes, those are Christmas movies. And I noticed that John McClane and Martin Riggs both really seem to like a 9mm Beretta. So we decided we'd get one of those out today and just have a little Christmas celebration. See if our new steel targets are going to work good. Keep one in it to see if we can hit anything. Yeah, 9mm Beretta. We've locked her open, empty magazine. We're safe, chamber's empty. This is a sweet gun. These have been shown in movies and Boondock Saints, Lethal Weapon, Die Hard, John McClane, Martin Riggs, so many different people. This thing has been, you have to admit, it is a very good looking firearm. It is a little different. It has a little different lines to it. It's kind of a bigger gun for a 9mm, a little bit on the larger side. This has a full-size grip, full-size barrel. It is what you would technically call a service pistol. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. Sorry, the wind's blowing pretty bad. Hope the wind ain't affecting everything. But we just like to get these out here and have a little fun with them. This thing is served in the United States Army for a really long time, and well, not anymore. The SIG is taking over now. We just wanted to get this out here and shoot around with it a little bit. And matter of fact, we also got some of these Federal Syntec. These are 9mm 150 grain total synthetic jacket action pistol. These are supposed to have a little bit lower recoil and shoot better as far as not get your barrel as hot, extended barrel life. I ain't never shot them before, so we'll just see if they shoot okay. Yeah, those are pretty fun. They don't have very much recoil at all, which 9mm doesn't kick any, but these sure are fun. We'll talk a little bit about the Beretta. Beretta's been around for a long time. They've been around since early 1500s, making barrels in Italy, and that's a long time for a firearms company to exist. And it's not like some of your other companies today where another company owns it and they just put the name on it or whatever. It's still Beretta. If you buy a Beretta, it's still the same company as it has been since the 1500s, which is pretty impressive. But this is an M9. This is a version of the 92 Beretta that the military adopted. This one has been in the hands of the military since the early 80s. It served for a long time up until here just recently, not too long ago. The SIG took over in some military trials. Beretta came out with a M9A3, I believe it's called, and it's like a flat dark earth collar and everything, and has a little bit different grip. And they changed a bunch of things to it and tried to keep their military adoption, but SIG ended up taking over on that. So Beretta is no longer, it might be carried, I don't know the stipulations on all that, who carries what in the military. It's kind of what appealed to it to me. These are the M9s are made here in America, and they'll say like US M9 on the side of the frame, 9mm Beretta USA, and USA up here on the slide, and has the assembly number and different little things like military looking things to it. Whereas the 92 FS, they'll have just a little bit different markings on them and stuff. See if I can get that for the camera there. A 92 FS won't have this, for example, the US markings down there. It'll say, please read your owner's manual for safety reasons, lawyer things like that. So I kind of wanted the M9. There is a difference between the sights on a 92 FS and an M9. I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera, but you'll see that the rear sight just has like a single little white line there. And it still has the 2 dots on the side, but they aren't filled in with white. And then the front sight has a white dot in the center of it. I think this is what's called an eye dot, or you pretty much just set the dot on the top of the sight there. And it's a little different on a 92 that doesn't have the white dot on the back like that. It has one on each side, and then kind of a normal sight picture. Sorry about the wind, it's been pretty bad today. But a lot of people don't really care for the way things work on one of these. They're a very good shooting gun, but there is a few things that kind of throws you off. They're a little different. It has what's called a decocker system and a safety on the slide, and that really throws a lot of people off. And this gun also has a single double action, or double to single, trigger pull, which means your first trigger pull is going to be a long double action style trigger pull like a revolver, and then after it goes off, the slide cracks, chambers another round, and the hammers back still. Then you'll have a shorter, more of a single action pull, kind of like a 1911 for every shot thereafter. But so some people, it throws you off a little bit. It does kind of mess if you're not used to it. Let me make sure it's clear here, and we'll kind of show you. You can see that the chamber's empty. Everything is clear. I don't have a magazine in it. So as you can see, it's cocked now. And if we want to decock it, we just simply push down on this with either finger, or either side, I'm sorry. If it's ambidextrous, it will work for a left-handed shooter or for a right-handed shooter. It is ambidextrous, and you just, when you push that down, it does not hit the firing pin. It is totally safe to do it with a round in the chamber. That's the purpose of it, so that you can cock it or decock it and put it on safe and carry it with a round in the chamber. And then you're supposed to unholster the gun and use your thumb to shove the safety off, and then you have a full-blown double action trigger pull for your first shot. And we are empty, and I'll decock it again, and I'll show you that your first trigger pull is going to be long and stiff and hard. And then you'll shoot, you'll chamber another round, the trigger will reset, and now it's short, and you'll have a single action, little short single action trigger pull, which is pretty sweet. Single action trigger pull on this is pretty nice. It's really easy to shoot with that. I personally have some struggle with the first shot being double action. It's kind of a stiff, even though I shoot a lot of revolvers. This one is a little stiff. It's smooth, but it's pretty hard to pull back. But it's not too bad. If you played with it enough and really got used to it, it would probably serve you just well. Some people do carry these. These are a full-size service gun. I carry it occasionally just for, retro, or just to enjoy it. But I'm not going to carry one all the time, that's for sure. It is quite a hefty gun for a 9mm. And but I do have another magazine loaded up, and I need to stop talking so much, and we'll just shoot this thing and have a little fun here on Christmas. Bring some steel. does shoot pretty good. That first trigger pull is a little bit hard to get used to, but it's not too bad. It's starting to sprinkle on us a little bit out here, but we don't care. Let's talk a little bit about the history of this gun. It is been in our military for a really long time now. I believe 86 or something. I'm not real good with dates, but it's about the time it was adopted, but I think it was in the hands of our troops since sometime around 80, 79. But just to show you a little bit of history here, we have a little bit of lineage of our history of American firearms. This was one of the first firearms adopted by our military, or our Army anyway. This is an 1860 Colt Army. This one's actually just a reproduction now. But this is what we would have had in the 1860s during the Civil War. One of the first massed adopted handguns of the U.S. military. This is a 44 caliber percussion revolver. It takes black powder, and you put black powder and a ball in there, and then you use this to ram it home, and then you put a cap on the back, and that's when you got fire, and you cock it and shoot, and you have 6 shots, and so not a whole lot. This is what they had. This is what a lot of them would just carry 2 or 3 of these on their belt, maybe. When one was empty, maybe just throw it on the ground, keep on going. But this is what they had for a long time. And in 1973, when the cartridges came about, the military got this. This is what's called a Colt Single Action Army. This is chambered in 45 Colt. That's what they would have had in 1873 when the Army adopted this revolver here, made by Colt. And this is what's called a single action. And that means you have to cock the trigger each time before you fire. Just to show you, all these guns that I've brought out here are totally unloaded. But this is a Colt single action. And the military one would have been a 7.5 inch barrel. This is a 5.5 inch barrel. But they would have looked a lot similar to this. And chambered for 45 Colt. And they carried these on their side for many, many years. And then I don't have what would have been in between that, but Smith & Wesson and Colt, they came out with like what was considered the hand ejector models in the late 1800s, chambered for like 38 calibers. This is just a Smith & Wesson Model 19 that is what would be a K-frame Smith & Wesson, a hand ejector model, and that's what they mean. They came out with a side ejecting cylinder that would eject to the side like that, and you could get all the cartridges out all at once. And the military went to something like that, and they had them, some of them in 38 caliber, some of them in 45 long Colt, just like the single action armies were chambered in, and they used something similar to that. And we'll make videos on all these guns later on. We just want to try to show you the lineage of what happened there. And then in the 1900s, we love John Browning. He started developing, of course, the gun that we all know is the American sidearm. This one isn't an original, older 1911, but it 1911 A1. If you've seen our first video, this was the first gun we done a video on. But this is pretty much what a World War II, almost World War I, 1911 would have looked like. Chambered for 45 ACP, which was pretty much intended to be similar to the 45 Colt round that the military had grown to love over the years since the single action Colts and everything. So we had the 1911 lasted us from 1911 pretty much all the way up till, well, the 80s, and then that's where the star of our show today comes in, and the Beretta. And then it served for a really long time. These are made in the M9s anyway, are made in America. The 92s, I believe, are still made in Italy. I think some may be made in America now, but I believe most of the 92s are made in Italy. I may be wrong on that. But we'll just load up 2 more rounds here. size magazines for these. They make 15 round magazines is usually what a M9 will come with on the factory. But you can get the 17 round magazines. You can get I think even 30 round magazines, similar to the ones they use in the Glocks. But yeah, these guns are very beautiful, very iconic in the movie screens. Boondock Saints, Lethal Weapon, all the series. Martin Riggs carried a Beretta in the whole series of Lethal Weapon. And sorry I gotta load these magazines up, but we've only got 3 of them. But this might be a gun you're interested in as far as a plinker, or maybe even a carry gun. If you think you want to carry a full-size service 1911, or sorry, not 1911, but a service size 9mm that is full-size, military size, you want to call it. But they do shoot good, and we'll just chamber around. As you can see, that decocked it as I chambered it, so I'm gonna have to take the safety off, and the first round's gonna be that double action like I explained. And it does lock open on an empty chamber, empty magazine I mean. And that's a Beretta. Well, I sure like it. It shoots really good. It feels really good in the hand. It does fill up your hand. The grip is kind of large. You can see it's kind of fat back here. We'll have to bring out, maybe do some comparison videos, some other guns, maybe a Glock 17 or something like that, and bring it out for some more videos. But we just want to get out here on Christmas today and shoot a little bit. Hope you guys had a wonderful holiday season. Thank you for watching our video. Goodbye.